We're going to go over an application of an inverted pendulum and apply optimal control to be able to move that inverted pendulum from one position. We're going to say it starts at -1 and go all the way to position 0, stabilizing this mass at the top that we're going to be able to control. We're going to design this using the adjustable cart. The thing that we can change is the force on the cart going forward or in reverse. And we want to get to the new position within 6.2 seconds. We want to verify that the velocity, the angle, and the rate of change of the angle are 0 before and after the maneuver. So we have our angle theta, we have gravity, which is in the downward direction. We have the length of the pendulum. You could say that's equal to 1, for example. And then you have the mass of the cart. And then you also have the mass up here of the thing that you're carrying along. Okay, so if you want to get more information or details on this problem, just go to this link and it will have some of the source code and solutions as well. We're going to walk through the solution on how to set up and solve this using Gecko, which is an optimization, dynamic optimization for Python. Okay, and we have these equations right here that govern these are linearized equations that govern the motion of the cart and the thing that we're carrying. It's actually just 4 equations. It's in state space form right here. State space meaning that it's x dot equals ax plus bu, and so this would be our B matrix and our A matrix, and that would be our x dot vector, that would be our x, and we just have one u value. But really this is just 4 equations where it's y dot equals v. Okay, so the position, the change of position in time is equal to the velocity. That one makes sense. And then we have v dot equals, and then this is the third position, so it's multiplied by this one. So negative epsilon times theta. Okay, and then we have plus u. Okay, so that is going to be a momentum balance on our cart. And then we're going to go on to the next one. This one's going to relate our rate of change of the angle, and that one is going to be equal to q. Okay, let me just go ahead and do this one. Okay, there's our third one right there, and then our fourth one is going to be q dot equals, and then this is our third one again. Okay, and that's going to be equal to theta, and then minus, and then we have u. Okay, so we have 4 equations and one value that we can change, which is the force of the cart going forward or backward. And there's no limitations on those, so you're just assuming right now you have an infinitely powered motor on that. Okay, you also have this one parameter epsilon that's going to go right there, which is the ratio of mass 2 divided by the total mass. And we're just going to assume that mass 1 is equal to 10 and mass 2 is equal to 1. You can change that, and it's kind of interesting to see how the solution changes as you change the mass, the thing that you're carrying. Okay, and so we're going to go and just work through this problem. I'm going to explain how this works. This is the inverted, I'll just call it inverted pendulum. Okay, and as this is going, I'll go ahead and bring up the this just so we can explain what's going on with it. So we're going to first of all import Gecko. Okay, and then we'll define a model, and so we'll do m equals Gecko. And that's our model right there. And also I'll have this in the script, we'll have how to animate this as well. I'm not going to show that code, but if you're interested you can go through the animation. Okay, there's our mass 2, the thing that we're going to be changing up here. Okay, that is equal to 1 right there. And then we're going to we're going to go beyond the time of 6.2. We said that we wanted 6.2, but we just want to go beyond it a little bit just so we can verify that we're going to be stable and stationary at the very end. Okay, so we're going to go from, again, we're going to start at a position of -1 and proceed all the way to a position of 0 on the x-axis. Okay, and then we have our end location. I just need to get the index, the approximate index of where I'm ending, what time point, in terms of 0 through 99 there, which value. Okay, I have my parameters. I have my tan, and then I just created a new gecko variable, which is m2a. And then I also have final in here. That's going to be zeros everywhere, and then a 1 right at the end, or 1 starting at time equals 6.2. So if I'm less than 6.2, I'm going to say I don't want these values to be enforced, but after that I'm going to say that they need to be enforced, so I'm going to say final is I is going to be equal to 1, and then you'll see how we formulate these so it only turns on those certain conditions when final is non-zero. Okay, I'm going to create the new final parameter in gecko, and then I have my here's my u value that's going to go forward or backward. Okay, and then I have my theta, my q. I just put the a at the end there for each of them, just so I can distinguish them from other variables in the script. Okay, and then we have the rotation rate, which is q, the y, which is the position, and v, which is the velocity. And then we have these intermediates as well, the epsilon value that I mentioned before. That one is right here, so I'm just defining that so I don't have to define it within the equation. Okay, so now I'm going to define the state space model. Okay, and just the first one, which is just y dot equals v, as we mentioned. The second one, which is the v dot. Okay, and we have the minus epsilon times theta plus the u value. Okay, and then our third one, which is just the theta dot. Okay, to get the derivative values like that, we're just going to append it with the dt, and that equals, so if you have q dot dt, that means q dot. Okay, now we're going to define the objective. We're going to make all, okay, we want them to be 0 at the very end. We can define the initial condition as we did, right here in this section. That was our initial. Here, I'll go over just a little bit so I can write next to the code. Our initial conditions were specified right here, and that's important that you get those right. The y value starts at -1, but all the other values are stationary and in the vertical position. Okay, and then down here where we're specifying these final conditions, we have final times the value squared, so we're going to minimize that. We also are fixing the value at our end location and setting that equal to 0. So we want all of those equal to 0. We're just going to put in some hard constraints as well. So you can use a combination of hard and soft constraints. The soft constraints are ones that are in the objective. So we just added those, penalizing them in the objective. We also have another objective term there, which is to minimize the force use. And so I just did a small number times UA squared. Okay, I mode 6 means dynamic optimization or model predictive control, and then we'll solve it. And the rest of it is just going to be plotting. So we're going to plot some of the results, and I'm just going to go ahead and run it at this point. I'll run the one that I have here. It's already done, and just show you the animation, and then we can talk about this as that finishes typing out. So it's just going to run. It also has the animation code. If you want to generate an MP4 for you, you just need to have the MPG, I believe. Okay, so there is the solution right there. You can see that it's with mass equals 1. So let's try it with a little bit more mass. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and come back in here and change this we'll change that to a mass of 5. Okay, so made it 5 times greater on our top little ball there. It's moving back and forth, and so let's run this one more time. It took about 0.05 seconds to solve, and then the rest of the time is just to do the animation. And so you can see it's behaving just a little bit differently there, as it has to maneuver the 5 mass ball up top. Okay, and so you can change some of the parameters and then re-optimize. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, all the source code is available right here if you'd like to get that. I'd like to also thank Everton Calling for providing kind of initial cart and animation for us. He also did the one that's listed here under Model Predictive Control, where it's an overhead cart, and so I just modified it to be the inverted pendulum as well. So you can also have an overhead cart that, and that's with mass equals 1, and then if you go to mass equals 5, you can see it has a little bit different solution. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. This is, again, Python's very nice for doing some of the animation. I'll just scroll down, where we're going to with that. Here's how you do the animation. It's a little bit complicated, but it's like creating a plot and then cycling through the animate function. And then if you want to save it as an MP4, then you need to get the FM MPEG available from that link there. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to say don't reload it, and then here's your MP4 if you're interested. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching.